So what if there's a tool that you can use to get your digital video that film look that already these great film stocks used? Great news, there is one. It's called Dehancer, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to use it and how it actually works inside of DaVinci Resolve. Coming up. Hi guys, my name is Paul. I'm a German-based cinematographer, and this channel is all about filmmaking gear reviews, but also DaVinci Resolve tutorials. So if that's something that you're interested in, consider subscribe. That really helps the channel. So thank you. So as I've already said, in this video we are talking about Dehancer. This is a film emulation plugin that you can use for Premiere Pro, Final Cut. This video we are using it inside of DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to show you how it works. And the great thing about Dehancer is that you have so much control about the things that you want to change and so many additions that you don't have on other film emulations tools. So therefore I really like it. And by the way, they also have it as an iOS app for your photos and phone videos if you want to use that. But in this video we are talking about actual films that I took. Okay, so here we are inside of DaVinci Resolve, and actually from the node structure it is very important that Dehancer comes in at last. So as you would use basically your color space transform or something like that, Dehancer is used to come at the very end. So before you can make all your changes like exposure, white balance and stuff like that, and at the very end it's supposed to use like Dehancer. So here I have a clip, and under my effects, on a very bottom, I have film emulation, and I just drop it onto the second node, which is in this case my last node. And you see that's already doing something, but I have to change some parameters here. So input here, as when you use like the color space transform, you have to tell the program which camera you actually used. So there are a few, when you go to choose camera, then you have like Blackmagic, Arri, Red and stuff like that, Canon. But you can also use DaVinci Wide Gamut RGB. You have to make a color space transform prior to that. So if you have a camera that is not listed here, don't worry, it actually works also that way. Also have Rec 709. But in this video I shot this clip on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K, and it was at ISO Gen 4 it was, and ISO 400, and bam, here we go. This is the look that we get right on top. Basically I just disable the film grain for now. And here under film we also have the different profiles on the different film stocks that we can use, and there are so many, from Aqua, Fujifilm, Kodak, you name it, Konica, Polaroid, Rollei. So every one of them gives your footage a different look color wise, and also from how it reacts basically. Fujifilm, very great one. I personally like these Kodak Visions. Kodak Vision 50D is a very famous one, so in this video I'm gonna use that for that clip here. And then under print we can also use a actual film print. We also have these different parameters here that we can change if we want to, and actually I can use a Kodak print also here. And what it's doing now, the contrast also has been adjusted. Also there's much more contrast. But also if I go to film developer over here, I can also increase my contrast even more if I want so. And to check if I'm not clipping anything, on the bottom here we have also monitor, and we can see false color, really helpful. And down here you can also export a LUT out of this look, which is really great. And by the way, the first two people that comment on this video, I will make you a LUT of your favorite emulation. So just tell me in the comments below. The first two people are gonna win it for free. I'm gonna send it to you via email. Going on now here, actually we have the film grain. So for me, for my taste, if I'm gonna use 35mm, it looks pretty grainy. Depends on if you like this style. You have different settings here. Also, you can also use custom if you want to, but also these presets work really well. But for me personally, the higher you go on the film, here the more subtle is basically the look. So 65mm ISO 50. You also have grain, but it's much more subtle than before. So yeah, you can see it here on the skin, and yeah, it looks pretty good. So therefore I leave it like that. Then we have halation, and that's pretty cool when you use halation. It's also a very known look for film. They have like this little warm color fringing around the edges. So if I enable that, and if you take a look at the highlights here and also around his shirt here, we basically have this little red line. And as I've said, here on 35mm it's like normal, but if I go to Super 8 it gets even stronger. So if you check now, so this is what halation basically is. You can also mask mode, and if you use it like that, you can really see what it's doing. And if you use that look, it's going really strong. So depending on if you liked it, but you can also go here to custom to change that for whatever you want. But I think in my case, Super 35 is just working fine. And what I also like is bloom. Bloom is kind of when the highlights are going to have that little soft glow. That's also really nice. So if I enable that and you just take a look on the highlights, we have this bloom effect. And here also, as I've said, on Super 8 it's even stronger than on 65, but I'm gonna leave it here on 35 like that. So we also have like film damage. I can also enable that when I go to Super 8, and if we make a playback right now, we also have these artifacts right here, also this film damage, so that you can also use, but in my case I don't want to have that. And yeah, basically you can have a vignette, you can have film brief, whatever you want to. So you see, like, I don't touch every setting here because it's just yeah, they can change so many things. And also, if you like, we can do the same here for this clip basically. If I just copy that over, okay, this one is way too bright, but I can also go in here and change my exposure to have the look that I want to. And basically I think for this one there would also a warm look would really work. So for example, Kodak 200 Vision 200T or 500T, and that's basically more warmer because T is for tungsten, gives you a much more warmer look. So I really liked it on that one here. If we use it here, you can really see what it does basically. So here we have choose camera again, red, Komodo, and turn off the grain for a moment. And here you can see what it's basically doing. So if we just use that 250D, the 50D, and if I now use print and also use Kodak, you see like you get these blue shadows and these warm tones have that orangey warm tone. So I think this just looks amazing right off. I don't have to do anything right now basically, but if you see right now, if I enable halation, I have also around the highlights where there's a lot of contrast. Basically they have like this red kind of fringing which makes the highlights a little bit warmer. And if I also enable bloom, We can also see before and after what it's doing here. So yeah, this looks already pretty great. And I can also check on right here, again, output, LUT generator, monitor, false color. So everything is in proper exposure. So this is basically how Dehancer works. I think it's absolutely worth it. If you want to get it for yourself, you can get a 10% discount if you use the PAULEPORTER code. It's in the description, link down below. So if you want to check that out, you can also use a trial. So just check it out for yourself if it convinces you. It convinced me right away. Really liked it for color grading, and it gets you very easily into the right ballpark of the colors and everything that you want to achieve, and it has so much more functions. So therefore Dehancer, I think, is the right tool if you want to achieve that filmic look. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did so, please smash that like button, and if you have any further questions, just drop them down in the comments below, and hope to see you, or I will see you in my next one. Cheers!